show to some of what you're saying?
Yeah, that's
okay.
fine.
I just wanted to make sure
yep.
that was fine first. Okay. All right. Sorry.
You're both fine.
You guys ready?
Are you? Yep. Can I stand right here, Megan?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Good?
Yes. Yep.
All right. At 3:14 this afternoon, SWAT officers aired that they were at scene of a traffic stop in the 6,000 block of Cooper Colony Drive, which resulted in a police-involved shooting. Tactical medics were on scene with a matter of a couple minutes, and they transported the suspect to Riverside Hospital, where he is currently listed as stable, but still life-threatening condition. Here's what we know so far. Out of last night's homicide that occurred in the area of Jester Lane and Princess Place, homicide detectives have been working. They're still here. They've been working since last night we're approaching 16 hours now. Homicide detectives throughout the day obtained video evidence that led us to an identification of the suspect in last night's homicide and the vehicle that he left in. Homicide detectives requested plainclothes personnel and SWAT to set up surveillance on the suspect's address. Shortly before this incident took place, the suspect left his address in the vehicle that we believed he was in last night, in last night's homicide. Officers followed that vehicle to here on Cooper Colony Drive, at which time a K-9 officer in a marked cruiser initiated a traffic stop on the suspect's vehicle. The suspect exited the passenger side of the vehicle and began running down the sidewalk with a rifle in his hand. At least one Columbus police officer, including the K-9 officer, discharged their firearm at the suspect, striking him at least one time. Like I said, within a matter of minutes, the tactical medics, and that's just something our SWAT team does, they bring tactical medics with them to ensure everybody's safety. So within a matter of a couple minutes, tactical medics on scene treating the male, transported him to Riverside Hospital. I can tell you that we recovered the suspect's rifle here at scene. The suspect is a 16-year-old male Hispanic. And what I can tell you is he's currently being charged with the murder from last night and will possibly face other charges out of this incident here today. That's kind of the information that we have right now. I will answer any questions that I possibly can, but keep in mind that obviously this is still very fluid and very active situation.
What can you say about the fact that you learned this is a 16-year-old that was involved in the shooting with the murder of someone else, still posing a threat a day after that shooting?
Yeah, I can tell you it's heartbreaking that a 16-year-old is involved in this type of violence. Any gun violence in our city is unacceptable, but you guys have reported on it many, many times. We are increasingly seeing more and more juveniles becoming involved in gun violence in our city, which is unacceptable. But take 16-year-old out of it. This individual was extremely dangerous. All right, we saw that last night, right? Breaking into vehicles. The victim from last night's incident came out and confronted him and immediately got shot with a rifle. That is a risk to our public safety to have this 16-year-old on the street. So these officers did what they had to do today to ensure that 16-year-old is no longer on our streets, potentially, going to shoot additional victims later on.
I know you said you're still investigating. Are you able to say if he had the rifle when he was running, pointed at anybody?
That will all be in the body camera, but I can tell you that he has the rifle in hand while he's running down the sidewalk when officers discharge their firearms.
And is this just where the traffic stop happened to happen?
This is not, we don't think that there's any connection to this area to him. That's something that our detectives will work with BCI, who is on scene as well, to determine if there's a reason why he was pulling into this apartment complex. But we don't, as of right now, believe there's any connection to this apartment complex and our suspect.
Are you looking for any other suspects who may have been involved?
No, last night's homicide was one individual, and it's this individual that we have today.
Sergeant Fuqua said earlier that multiple officers fired.
Yeah, we believe there's a chance that multiple officers. Okay. To be safe, I'm going to tell you at least one officer. Okay. We believe it might be 2 or 3, but at least one officer definitely fired their weapon.
No officers were hurt?
No officers were injured.
And obviously this was a very busy time in the afternoon, 3 o'clock, kids are getting out. I think a busload of kids
A busload of kids tried to get off while we were here. So extremely dangerous situation overall, right? And that's why our SWAT officers are trained in situations like this, right? But that explains the importance of getting this individual off the street. We couldn't just watch him more, let him get out of his vehicle with a rifle in his possession and just walk down the sidewalk. Our officers had to do what they did to ensure that everybody was safe out of this incident.
what more do you think will come through the investigation tonight?
It will be in conjunction with our homicide detectives here at scene with BCI and determine if any additional charges. I don't know based on the evidence if we would have like a assault against a police officer charge, something like that. That will all come down the road. What we know for sure is he's being charged with last night's murder, and that's the most important thing right
You
now.
mentioned that he got out of the passenger side.
That is correct.
Was someone else?
The driver is still on scene. Driver of that vehicle is still on scene. We're working to identify how they are related to our suspect.
We're hearing that a bus full of students may have witnessed some of what happened earlier today.
I don't have that information. I know since I've been here, a busload of students was unloading from school, but I don't know if a busload of students actually witnessed the incident. I don't have that information right now.
But likely there were people in the area. It's a very busy
Oh,
road
there's
at this time.
Yeah,
What would your message be to the community after something like this?
yeah. This is tragic, right? This is something that people shouldn't have to see. But what I can tell you is our officers did what they are sworn to do, and that's protect you as residents. And they did that today. There's no question that this individual was involved in last night's shooting, extremely dangerous, running around with a rifle. Me as a father, would want police officers to do what they had to do to ensure my child wasn't walking down the sidewalk, getting off the bus with a suspect with a rifle in his hand.
What do you have to say for the family of the victim from last night now that you know that this is the suspect?
Extremely heartbreaking, right? Our heart goes out to them. Our prayers are with them. But as I told you a little bit ago, our homicide detectives have not slept. They have not left the office. This is 16 hours now that they're working on this case. And this goes for every homicide in our city. Our detectives do everything they can, which means losing sleep, all that, to ensure that we solve each and every homicide in our city.
I know y'all still investigating. The rifle that y'all found with, was that?
We believe it was the one used in last night's shooting. That is correct.
And how long do you anticipate this scene?
This is going to be a long while. All right, BCI's here, the crime scene's here. We got quite a bit of evidence to go through here at the scene, so this is going to be closed for quite some time.
Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
All right. Yep. I will send out a media release, but it won't be till a little bit later because I'll wait to turn all that off.
Yeah.
I still don't have access to email outside of my office. So I know that's hard for you guys,
Yeah.
and we're working on hopefully getting something solved. But I got to type stuff here and then go to my office before it can even be sent out. So we're
Do
looking at that.
y'all think?
I'm hoping to identify the